tuning in on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday morning. Can you see the sunshine glaring in the back of me? It is a beautiful day here in Seattle. And I am just forever grateful and thankful for our summer days. Although, as a grower, I do wish, can we get a little rain? And I see we're going to get some rain in a few days, and I just am very grateful, but not for too much. Because if you don't know, my child Samara Rain will be performing down on the pier this Saturday at the Soul Festival. So, dear Lord, please don't let it rain on us. Just let it rain on the produce for a little bit, and then let us have a good day listening to singing. How has everyone been? I just want to remind everyone that our stand is open, and if you are looking for fresh organic produce, please come and visit us at 124 21st Avenue, where we are giving out fresh produce every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. You know what? I don't even want to tell this story. I had a very traumatic story the other day where I was sitting waiting for a CSA and someone was pooping outside. And y'all, I cannot get that image out my head. And I just need you guys to just touch and agree that the Lord will remove it from my head so I can live a decent life. Okay. Anyways, you know what? I want to talk about aging, guys. So since the last time I left you guys, I turned a year older. I cannot believe the number that is falling out of my mouth of how old I am. 43. What the heck? Where did the time go? Where did the time go? But you know what? I am forever grateful. And I think it's important for us to have a conversation about aging. You know, when we were growing up, we were all, well, I won't say all, y'all. Let me sidetrack for a minute. Because when I say all, I don't necessarily mean all, but I need to say this. I made a comment on a post, and y'all, I just cannot understand. When I see a comment that I do not agree with, I just move forward, right? There are some times where you got to get real serious and political, and there's sometimes we just like, oh, that ain't serious, that ain't nothing. So when I say all, I don't mean all. I just mean majority of us. When we were growing up in the 80s and 90s, old looked different for us. Like people in their 40s, in their 50s look way older than what I'm seeing my family and friends looking like in their 40s and 50s. I feel like we still look like we're in our 20s and 30s, and people in their 40s and 50s look like they're in their 30s and 40s. I forget that we're all just out here aging. If it wasn't for my kids, I wouldn't realize how old I was getting. But I am aging. My mind is telling me I'm aging, and my knees is telling me that I'm aging. And I just wanted to have this quick conversation about, what does it mean to age and what does it look like for us? We sometimes think that aging is like gray hair, wheelchair, or what is those little walking sticks, those little, I forgot what they're called, but the little sticks people use when they watch. But that's not aging. That's aging for some, but not for all. And I want to stop us before we get there. So what brought me to this subject? So your girl has been, I don't know, no, people have noticed, and I want to appreciate all of you guys who have noticed the change in me. I want to appreciate you guys that knows the glow. I have really been taking care of myself. What does Bree need? How does Bree's body feel? How does Bree's mind feel? How can I make myself feel good? And I share these things with you because I want everyone to have this experience I'm feeling and know that it's not easy, but it is doable. And all it takes is one simple step. So let's talk about aging. So I had a doctor's appointment because my child, I know when it's going to rain because I know when it's cold because these knees get tight, these legs get tight. And then I couldn't bend my knee, so I had to go to the doctor. And that is big for me because normally I don't go to the doctor. I thug it out. Please, y'all, let's stop thugging out pain. Just because we can endure it doesn't mean that we have to. If you are working a job and you have medical and you are paying into medical, even if you have free state medical, please go to the doctor's appointment. When you're going to your doctor's appointment, make sure that you're set up and ready. Know what you're coming from. I had to learn I was lucky enough to have worked in a community, a business where there was nurses there. And so they gave a workshop on what to ask and how to prepare for your doctor's appointment. Because typically you only have 15, 20 minutes with these doctors and you got to make sure you get everything out. So make sure Um, you know what's going on with your body. And even if you can't express exactly the pain, try your best to have your pain ready, what's going on with you. I even went as far as one time I was having a situation, it's a little personal, so I can't share it with you, but I was having something going on with me. I had to do research to go back and tell my doctor what I think it may be. And when I mentioned it to the doctor, they was like, it could be that. And then they referred me to like a physical therapist. So know what your symptom is, write down your pain levels, write down all the questions that you want to ask your doctor, and make sure that you're prepared for your doctor's appointment so that you can get taken care of. Since I moved, I have been grateful to have doctors and the team that really listens to me and listen to what my body says. As Black women, we don't always get that. They brush our pain off. So then I learned to brush my pain off, right? But this time I went and they heard what I was saying, and he was like, it sounds like arthritis. And I was like, what? Arthritis? I am too young for arthritis. But apparently not. I have arthritis in the knees. Anyways, it is not a sentence. It is not the end of the world. There's just some things that I have to do differently to make sure that it doesn't take over and consume my body. And I know as we get older, we start to think about different things. Like as you get older, your body, my mom was like, once you turn 30, it's all downhill from there. And yes, she could have saved her advice, but she was not lying, honey. Once you turn 30, things just start to be a little different. And just because it's different doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. It just means that we have to take the time to change some things that we've been doing since we were younger. And I'm trying to do that within my children because our habits start and form from childhood. So what is it that we're doing and teaching our children? What is it that our parents taught us from childhood? That is not saying anybody is wrong, because we all have different ways of living. We all have different access to things. I didn't have much access to eating healthy foods, barely had access to eating food on a daily basis. So I don't go back and be like, oh, my mom never. No, we just want to figure out where this problem started or where this issue started and where can we move forward through to. So as we are talking about what it means to age for us, let's think about what practices are we teaching our children? Because I remember like when I was like 16, 17, I used to scuff down like 6 cupcakes from Safeway and I would not gain no weight. Nothing would happen to me. But those habits along the way, as you get older and as your body changes, as your metabolism changes, you can't do that, right? So I had to learn the hard way. Luckily, I had some kids who asked questions and made me feel a certain way about my eating habits. So I started to change along the way. I remember I used to just get birthday cake just because I like to taste the cake. And my kids just like, whose birthday is it? And I was like, mind your business, kid. Just eat this cake and have fun.
Phew.
Right. But as I got older and as I started to change my ways, I don't eat cake like I used to. And sometimes it makes me sad, but also I'm very excited that I don't, because your girl used to scuff down some cake. Okay. So as we're getting older, we have brain fog, walking in a room and forgetting what you came in there for. I know most of us like, whoa, am I getting Alzheimer's? Am I getting dementia? Like, what is happening? But there's so many things that we do and we can do that stops all of that or alleviates all of that. I am not a doctor, so I won't give you like for sure 100% things. But from what I researched and from what I looked at, and just even with the changes in my life, these things have helped. So I just wanted to give some tips and also just make it comfortable with, we're getting older, but that doesn't mean that we're closer to death than we were yesterday. That just means we're starting to live. I don't know, from some of you guys, I feel like as I turned 40, I feel like I started a new life. I feel like a new baby. I feel like I have more experience. I know better. And my therapist has taught me to stop judging myself. So I always throw that out to people. Don't judge yourself for what you did in your 20s and 30s. You were just learning. Life really begins at 40. And some say life begins at 50 and 60. It's like life doesn't end until it's over. And that doesn't mean just because you're aging, your life will end. So, what can we do to make sure that we are aging gracefully and well? So, exercise. Well, no, I want to start with changing your eating habits. Changing your eating habits is going to be essential. Most of the things that are happening to us as we get older is because of the foods we're eating. We think brain fog, forgetting things, arthritis, stiff legs, weight gain is from aging. It's from not moving. It's from not eating healthy. So I just wrote a few notes down that I wanted to just make sure that we are um, taking better care of ourselves, right? And so here at Clean Greens, that's another thing that we do. We want to make sure that our community, if you're watching this, you are our community, that you are eating healthy and know that the foods that we eat ties into our health. The foods that we eat ties into diabetes, ties into hypertension, ties into diet. Did I say diabetes already? Hypertension, cholesterol, blood, all of that, right? So eating fatty fish like salmon, mackerel is some good stuff. Omega-3 fatty, so that's like fish oils. If you can't eat that, if you don't eat meat or fish at all, omega-3, fish oil helps. Leafy greens. We have leafy greens at Clean Greens. We specifically grow leafy greens because it is good for your health, right? So make sure you're picking up a bag of fresh organic produce, fresh off the farm from Clean Greens. Nuts and seeds, berries, olive oil, turmeric. Oh my gosh, I cannot express how much turmeric has helped me with, like, before I knew I had arthritis. It helps so much with inflammation, like immediately. Like my legs were stiff, they were sore, and I was like, what the heck's going on? But once I incorporated turmeric, I take turmeric vitamins and it helps immediately for me. So turmeric, put it in your food, in your spices. You can drink turmeric tea, whole grains, ligaments and beans, green tea. And then also I wanted to talk about herbs that helps with like inflammation. These are foods that help with inflammation because that's essentially what arthritis is. And that's what happens when you have brain fog. It is all due to inflammation in the foods that we're eating. So cutting out that saturated fats, cutting out those sugars, cutting out that soda. I'm getting ready to go on a trip. So we are doing a 21-day cleanse. And I will do that with conviction and authority, not only because I have arthritis, because as I'm getting older, I'm understanding the importance of making sure that I'm just taking care of my body. A lot of the things that are going on with our body is due to the food we're drinking, not drinking alcohol. And I'm not judging anyone. And all of these things can be reversed as you learn to eat your food. It's a process. But either cutting down our alcohol or drinking once every couple of days, once a week. Don't drink every day. That affects your body. I've seen this study on social media of, and I hate looking at these things, but it just popped up and I watched it. Rats. I hate them. I hate, and I think it's because before I moved, we had like this rat issue. There was a lot of construction. There was mice everywhere, and I was just like, I'm disgusted. But anyways, long story short, one rat was fed healthy foods. One rat was fed the sugar, saturated fats. The rat, and then they put them in like a cup of milk. And so one rat was able to get themselves out the cup of milk without drowning. The other rat that was the rat who ate healthy. The rat who ate saturated fats got stuck in the milk and couldn't find his way out. And that is us. We're eating foods that are affecting our mind, body, and spirit. So making sure that we're changing our eating habits, starting with our eating habits. And it's not like something that we just do like right then and there and just it's over. No, all these things that I'm telling you and I'm doing, I'm starting baby steps. Like you can if you want to, but you don't have to. Everything was in baby steps, small changes along the way. Making sure that you're exercising, move your body. Walking is one thing that is really good. People underestimate the power of just walking, starting off with 10 minutes a day, then moving to 20, then moving to 30, or doing a 10-minute walk outside, and then later on doing a 20-minute walk inside, but you want to make sure you get fresh air. You want to make sure you step out. Nature is our healing tool. Getting connected back with the earth helps you stay grounded in what you need to do with your body in your life. So walking, what else? Weight training. Most people think when you're weightlifting, it's to get bigger, but no, sometimes weight training is what you do to tone up and to strengthen your muscles and your bones. And if you're like me and you have arthritis, you want to do a little low pack weight training so that it can strengthen your joints. Pilates is one of them. What else is there? Yoga, making sure you're just getting your body moving. And even if you're like 60, 70, 50, and you feel like you're stiff and you feel like you can't move, all of these things can still apply to you. You still can turn it around. You are not old. As long as you're living, you're not old. You're just a little bit more seasoned. But what makes us feel old is the foods that we're eating. And I know you're like, well, that sounds easier said than done. Well, I used to feel that way too. And I started incorporating small things like if you, and then the herbs around your house, like we carry these herbs in our houses and we don't even realize it. Like how many of us have turmeric in our house, cloves in our house, ginger herb, what else is there? There's rosemary. All of these herbs help with inflammation, helps with your body, helps give you mind clarity. My favorite that I just discovered over the past year and a half is cloves. It helps with everything. It helps with inflammation, helps with tooth pain. It gives you clarity. Like I made clove tea and I just felt clarity and my body just felt good. So you're making sure you're changing your eating habits, making sure you're exercising, and exercising looks different for everybody. That's not like being in the gym, carrying around your gallon of water with your little cute gym clothes on. That's just like throwing on some sweats and walking outside. But you do want to make sure you're hydrated because hydration also impacts your brain fog. And if you are suffering from brain fog like I am, you have to make sure we are human, we are mechanisms just like a plant, just like the food we grow. We need to be watered. Our brain needs to be watered. And you have to remember, water your brain. And if it's hard for you, set an alarm every 2 hours and drink a cup of water. That's just 8 ounces. You know those little small bottles of waters, those little 8 ounces of bottles? Start there. 8 ounces every 2 hours. Well, the first time when you first wake up at 7 a.m., 6 a.m., when you first wake up, I'm not going to judge when you wake up. When you first wake up, drink 2 of those because that cleans out your body and they get your body system going. And I promise you, from my experience, drinking 2 bottles of waters was more effective than drinking a cup of coffee. I didn't have the jitters. I wasn't in the bathroom. My stomach wasn't hurting, but I felt alive. I felt up. So 2 bottles of water. And I'm sorry if I'm talking so fast. I'm trying not to, but I just have so much information that I want to get out to you guys. And I'm just super excited. So changing your eating habits, exercising, sleeping. Now, if you're like me, I have a hard time sleeping. I sometimes want to punch my husband in the head because this man can be talking. We will have a full-on conversation. As soon as his head hits the pillow, 2 seconds later, he's asleep. I don't have that gift. I go to sleep and it's like 25. Now it's quiet. No one's talking to me. No one's needing anything from me. Now, everything that I need to think about is happening. Did I pay that bill? Did I lock the door? Is the kids okay? Oh my God, I need to set this appointment. So I had to find a sleep schedule and figure out how to get some sleep, right? And so some of the things that I have incorporated in my sleep, which has been very helpful, is magnesium. Magnesium has been very helpful. I take it at 8 o'clock so it can be effective. I've noticed if I take it too late that I'm a little groggy in the morning, but 8 o'clock, I take it and it helps with sleep. It also helps with joint pain and it also just relaxes your body and it makes you sleepy and I wake up refreshed and ready to go. Another thing about aging, we always think like, I read this thing on Instagram too about like gray hair. That is due to stress. That is due to stress, not necessarily aging. What is your stress levels like? What are you thinking? Are you meditating? Are you taking time for yourself to self care? Are you always going? I used to always be going. I used to always feel like I go. I am a busy person. I am slowing down and making sure that when I am busy, it is counting, but I'm also making sure I'm meditating, but making sure you're taking care of your skin. That is the last thing I think people seem to take care of is your skin. Um, this is not a plug, but it's a plug. But I sell Mary Kay, right? And that's how I started to learn how to take care of my skin. And during the pandemic, my cousin she challenged me to learn how to do makeup. And so then I started learning how to do makeup. But then I realized that the drugstore was changing my skin in a way that I wasn't happy. So I was trying to find the right facial wash to help my skin. And I came across Mary Kay. You don't have to buy Mary Kay. You don't have to use Mary Kay, but you have to do what works for your skin. And you have to find skin products that has moisturizer in it, that has protection against the sun in it, protection against pollution in it. Because when you walk out that door, all of those factors come on your body and your skin, and you have to protect your skin about it from it. So yes, even my people, even my Black folks, we have to have sunscreen. My products that I make sure that what I'm using has sunscreen in it. I make sure that it protects against pollution. Make sure that it's moisturized. If your skin is dry, you want to make sure that and if your skin is oily, you want to make sure you're getting something that helps with oily skin. Pay attention to the face washes that you are getting for your skin. There's normal to dry skin, and then there's oily skin, combination skin. And combination is like if you're oily here, if you're oily here and then dry here in other places. Like I used to wake up in the mornings and all of this will be just crusty and dry, just dry. But when I got a good face routine, it was no longer dry. And it also helps with aging with your wrinkles. It helps aging with your skin sagging. Sometimes as you get older, your skin starts to sag. It pulls you back. It gives you a little facelift as you're doing your face wash. And if you want more tips, let me know, and I will give you more tips about face wash. But I cannot stress how important it is. It only takes 5 minutes to have a face washing routine in the morning and the evening time. And do it every day. Like I may miss a night when I'm really tired and burnt out, but wash your face twice a day and make sure you wash your face with a cleanser. Make sure you have a vitamin C. Make sure you have a day cream and a night cream, which is just like moisture, and making sure that it's protecting your skin while you're sleeping and it's protecting your skin when you're out in the public. This is going to help with our aging. Now we cannot stop ourselves. We can't stop the numbers on the clock from going, but we can do some things that helps us with stopping the gray hair, the saggy skin, the wrinkles, the crow's feet, or looking alive. Like I like to have like little eye patches that makes me look alive. That's right here. It looks ridiculous on people, but it doesn't take that long, you guys. If you start off with a simple routine that is 5 minutes, as you go, you start to add more to your routine at night or during the day. But all of these help with your mind, your body, your spirit. Your skin is the first protection to your body. Your skin is protecting you from everything that you're encountering when you're walking. So you want to make sure that you are taking care of your skin. And you want to make sure you're taking care of your skin from inside and out, which means make sure you're hydrating, make sure that you're eating healthy, make sure that you're meditating. And I've learned to say the art of saying no is also helpful to your mental, because when you're saying yes all the time, when you're doing things for other people all the time, you don't have time to rest, you don't have time to give into yourself, you don't have time to do. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And some of the things with, I notice with a lot of us, we are experiencing brain fog. We get so caught up in this world and hustle culture that we Everybody's like, not everybody, a lot of people like, you sleep when you're dead. No, you're going to die sooner if you don't sleep now. You're going to be sleeping real soon. So make sure you rest is essential. Eating healthy is essential. We are aging gracefully when we are taking care of our body. Get moving. Zumba, walking. It doesn't have to be extreme. It depends on what you want your body to be. But I want to lose more weight. So my doctor says I have to work out an hour a day. If you want to be able to walk up the stairs, if you want to be able to run after your grandchildren, if you want to be able to sing karaoke and not fall out of breath, you want to make sure that you're taking care of your body and your spirit and your skin. And just a few things that will help with your brain fog, like herbs. Make sure you are getting familiar with herbs. Ginkgo, ginseng, rosemary, ashwagandha, and peppermint also helps with brain fog. Herbs and eating healthy leafy greens, berries, fruits, and make sure your fruits have seeds. If your fruits don't have seeds, they are not giving you life. They are manufactured and man-made. And we want to make sure that we are taking care of our skin and giving ourselves the right products, and making sure that you learn how to grow your own food. If you learn how to grow your own food, then you are rich, okay? You will be rich mind, body, and spirit. All right, guys. Well, that's it for the day. Thank you for joining us here at Clean Greens, broadcasting live on Rainier Avenue Radio. It is your girl, Queen Bree, in the house, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.